Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Today onwards, we will start studying the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. A film actor, when he acts, plays different roles in different films, in different occasions, he never forgets his identity. He never forgets who is he. By remembering very well, he acts, plays all those roles and get the name and fame. So there is no identity crisis for a actor. Now, in the same way, when we are all functioning in this world, every one of us are playing a different roles. As a father, mother, as a son, daughter, or wife, or husband, so many roles. But the problem is here there is an identity crisis. We forget that what we are really, and we forget that we are playing the role. It is just a role. I am acting in this particular role. But basically, I am a man, I am a woman. That we'll forget. And only that roles, husband, father, mother, wife, sister, brother, these roles predominant, and we get rolled away in the roles, by the roles. So here there is the identity crisis. When this identity crisis, if we don't know where I am, what role I am playing, as a man I am playing this role, as a woman I am playing this role. So play that role very well. And here we may ask the question that the cinema actor, when he plays the role, he gets lot of money, sir. But in our day-to-day life, whatever roles we are playing, we don't get that much money. Cinema actor gets name and fame, but sometimes we may not get that name and fame here, but still we have to play our roles. But remember that here we get the name and fame not here in this world, but we will be recognized in the kingdom of the Lord. Lord praises us. In the same way, we are not getting any money, income. Don't say like that. Everybody earning in their own field, their roles. If they are not doing any business or the job also, that is not the point here, whether we are earning so much or, but we are earning by doing our duty, playing our role without forgetting that what we are getting the highest wealth, the spiritual wealth, which is called otherwise the purity of the mind. So the purity of the mind is the richest, highest wealth in the world. So now let us ponder on this point by keeping the Bhagavad Gita in the view and The same identity crisis came to Arjuna also in the battlefield of Mahabharata. Few more points about this identity crisis. When I consider myself as the body, also I suffer. Whenever I consider myself as the mind, also we suffer. And whenever I consider other, as I just told, the roles, different play uh, positions, there also will suffer. But the purpose of the human life, everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to seek the peace, happiness, and the security. This is the goal of the life. Generally, in the world, for every materialistic person also, everybody wants to get this PHS. But unfortunately, this peace, happiness, and security, we are not getting a permanent peace, happiness, and security. They just come and go, or they will anytime disappear, diminish. So we keep on trying to again and again struggle to get this peace, happiness, and security. But Shastra says this peace and happiness and security you must discover within yourself. So in the discovery of that, discovery in ourselves is called the removing this identity crisis. So I should identify myself. What is my real identity? Who am I? What for I am here? What I have to achieve with this human body? By the way, performing all the regular actions and the duties as everybody do for our food, shelter, and clothing, we will try for that. But same time, we should not forget that that is not the ultimate goal of the life. So if you want a permanent peace, happiness, security, you must search and find out in the permanent thing. What is that permanent thing? Body is not permanent, mind is not permanent, any of our roles are not permanent, nothing is permanent in this relative world. If this is understood, then we will search for what is my real identity? Who am I? Whether I am just these instruments of the body mind complex or something else. When this enquiry starts, then the person comes to the scriptural study. The scriptures only will teach and tell about this our real identity. Really, who are we? So when I say scriptures, it is called Shastra. Shastra means Shasanat iti Shastraha. Shashayati iti Shastraha. Means which controls, which guides, which instructs, which protects, which helps every human being. By listening or studying the Shastra, we will be protected, we will be guided, we will be instructed, we will be disciplined, we will be guided towards that goal to find out what is our real identity, our nature, our essential nature. Not the nature means not the Swabhava, Swarupa. Now, little more about this Shastra. So, I have given the definition of the Shastra. And Shastra means in our country here we say Vedas, Shruti, Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam. Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha. I am reading this shloka. Of course, it is telling about the Shruti, Smruti, Purananam. And then I mention the shloka mentions about the two great acharyas. Now, before entering into our Bhagavad Gita text, we must know about these two giants of our culture, Sanatana Dharma. Now, so Shruti is the Shastra mainly, and then comes the next level, Smruti, which is told in the Shruti, is retold by with their memory and with their experience by many great rishis and acharyas. It is called the Smruti. And then comes the Puranas and the Itihasas. So this is the broad vision of the Shastra. So 4 Vedas mainly, and then the many Smruti Granthas, and then the Puranas and the Itihasas. So it caters the it caters to the all levels of the people in the society. Shastra doesn't want to neglect anybody in the society. For all levels of the people, for all levels of adhikaris, whatever the qualification he may have, Uttama Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Adhama Adhikari. But for everybody, there is a bit of their rise in that. Now, particularly when we are going to study the Bhagavad Gita comes under what category? Here we say a spiritual trinity, scriptural trinity. That means prasthanatrayam. In scriptures, particularly about the self-knowledge, Brahma Vidya, Atma Gnanam, or Vedanta, is dealt more in this Prasthanatrayam or the scriptural trinity. What are they? The first one is called Shruti Prasthanam Upanishads. There are many Upanishads from each Veda, and basically, importantly, popularly told to study 10 Dasha Upanishads, 10 Upanishads. The reasons are many, but one important reason is they themselves are very vast. It takes lot of time. And Bhagavan Adishankara written the commentary Bhashyam to these 10 Upanishads. That is more than enough if you read the 10 Upanishads. Study the 10 Upanishads. So it comes under the Shruti Prasthanam. The second one is called Smruti Prasthanam. Our Srimad Bhagavad Gita comes under this Smruti Prasthanam. Then the third one is called Nyaya Prasthanam or Brahma Sutrams. Now, here all the Upanishads are the part of the Veda. That too, the end portion of the Vedas. So here again the Vedas are also looked in two parts. One is the Purva Bhaga and then is the Anta Bhaga or Uttara Bhaga. The front portion of the Vedas are more talks about the Dharma Shastra, Dharmam and the Karma and Upasana. And the later part of the Vedas talks about the Vedanta Upanishads, Brahma Gnanam. So by studying the Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya or Para Vidya, the Upanishads, Vedanta, only we can come out of this identity crisis. This identity crisis is the problem for everybody, every normal person in the world. But the Jnanis, the wise people, are alone found their real identity and they are liberated. We call them as Jnanis, wise people, or Jivan Muktas. So that should be the ultimate goal, because that alone solves all the problems. Instead of to say solves all the problems, I feel like to say, better to say, dissolves all the problems. We come to know that, we discover that there is no problem at all. In my real nature, there is no problem at all. But in my identity crisis, there is the problem. In a real identity, there is no problem. So we will come to know that there is no problem at all. That means what? Problems are all not solved but dissolved. It is possible. This is only through this scriptural Vedantic study. We have to be very specific and clear about it. When we say scriptures, when we say the Vedanta, this scriptural trinity, Prasthanatrayam, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra. Now, let us come to our important topic, this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Smriti Prasthanam. So, who told this? What is Bhagavad Gita? Who told to whom, when, why, and where? Many of us may know some details about it, historical facts. At the end of the Dwapara Yuga, the two rishis called Naranarayanas took the avatara incarnated as the Krishna and the Arjuna at the end of the Dwapara Yuga. That's why after Krishna's birth and this, then Pandavas, Kauravas, then the Mahabharata war and all that over, then after the war gets over, only another 36 years only Krishna lived. So total Krishna's age is 125. That means just at the almost at the end of the Dwapara Yuga and the beginning of the Kali Yuga, this happened. This great knowledge, the great gospel, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, given by Sakshat Sriman Narayana, who took the avatara of the Sri Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita, the song sung by the Bhagavan. Even we say, but nowhere in the Bhagavad Gita, Vyasacharya didn't mention about the Krishna name. He says only Bhagavan. So Bhagavan can be Rama, Bhagavan can be Krishna, Bhagavan can be Shiva, anything, but that supreme truth took the form to protect the dharma and to help the mankind. So Bhagavad Gita is a manual to the entire humanity for all the times, in all, for all the places, for all the people, in all times. Bhagavad Gita. See, this Bhagavad Gita taught, teaching given to Arjuna. Mahabharata story, all of us we know. So at the time of the war, this teaching has taken place. And why this teaching has Bhagavan selected the battlefield. Those points will ponder on later. Now, Vyasacharya composed, recorded this teaching. Srimad Mahabharata is considered as the Panchama Vedam because it consisting of all the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Purusharthas. It talks about all the things, good and bad, whichever is there in the world. The Shreyo Marga and the Preyo Marga, both are talked with so many stories and all that. So in that, this Pandava Kaurava story, the Kuru Vamsha, so in between them, the misunderstanding and all that. Now, when Bhagavan Narayana took avatara as the Shri Krishna, same time, the same Bhagavan took the avatara of the Veda Vyasa Bhagavan. When the Rama took avatara, and that time simultaneously the same Supreme Lord's power is took the avatar of the Valmiki. So to record the as it is at the same time living the Rama and the Valmiki, and Valmiki composed the Ramayana. Same way, Krishna and Krishna's deeds, all that are recorded same time by the Vyasa Bhagavan. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupayam Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha. There is not any doubt for us, Bhagavan Veda Vyasa is Sakshat, the incarnation of the Jnana Kala, incarnation of the Lord Himself. So that's why it is recorded as it is. Whatever happened, that's why itihasa. Thus it happened like this. That is the meaning of itihasa. So this, in that big epic Mahabharata, which consisting of 1 lakh slokas, in between, in the Bhishma Parva, from the chapter 25 to 42. So the 18 chapters is the consisting of this, comprises with this Bhagavad Gita, which is consisting of 700 shlokas. 700 shlokas. So this is the origin of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And this Srimad Bhagavad Gita, afterwards, many commentators, many acharyas, written so many commentaries, bhashyas, all the big acharyas of the Dvaita Sampradaya, Vishishadvaita and Dvaita Sampradaya, everybody, not only these acharyas, but other people also. Many other walks of the life in the society, like the patriot Balagangadhar Tilak, the politicians like Rajagopalacharya, many other, so many are written the commentaries. And the beauty of the Bhagavad Gita is whoever comes to look into it, they will get something for their own benefit. That's why some look at the Bhagavad Gita. What exactly Bhagavad Gita said means they interpret and bring out the Karma Yoga. Some bring out only Bhakti Yoga. Some bring out the Raja Yoga. Some bring out the only Gnana Kanda. But it is consisting of, it is a what to say, a integrated approach to the all parts of the life. But ultimately, it brings, melts down to the one single topic of the essence of the Upanishads, the Vedanta. So, To look at outside, it seems to serving for the only Karma Yoga topic is more like that, or Jnana Kanda, because Arjuna himself got the doubt and he going to ask in the middle. So it is an integrated approach to the human life. For all walks of people, that means traditionally Chaturvida Purusharthas for four ashrama varnas and ashrama dharmas and the stages of the life, varna ashrama dharmas, and four accomplishments of the human life, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Of course, Bhagavad Gita is talks about the karma yoga and go through the bhakti yoga and ends in the gnana yoga. So gnanam is the ultimate. Gnane naiva tu kaivalyam. The same Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, through gnana alone one can attain the liberation. Through gnana alone one can get out of this identity crisis. Through gnana alone one can attain the permanent peace, happiness and security. So by keeping all these points in the mind, so the Bhagavad Gita background in this way, so because of the grace of the Veda Vyasa Bhagavan, we are able to get that which comes in the middle of the Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva. Now this Bhagavad Gita, the consisting of 18 chapters, and every chapter at the end, generally, traditionally, people will read Om Tat Saditi Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu. That concluding, that particular part is called Pushpika. It is not there originally in the Mahabharata where Vyasa Vyasa written the Bhagavad Gita in the Bhishma Parva. Not only that, there is no division of the chapters also. We count the Bhishma Parva chapters from 25 to 42. But Bhagavad Gita later on taken these 18 chapters and the different titles are given to the each chapter. Now this division of the chapters by giving them a different names, and as well as at the end that Pushpika, a small concluding prose portion, and as well as some Dhyana slokas. Before commencing this auspicious book, the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, traditionally everywhere they chant the Dhyana shlokas, Gita Dhyana shlokas. There are 9 Dhyana shlokas. So those Dhyana shlokas, these different names of the chapters, the Pushpika, all these are written by, given by, attributed to Madhusudana Saraswati Maharaj. One great Acharya, some time back, he given these titles. And that's why even Shankaracharya's Bhashya, we don't find these Adhyayas, topics, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, nothing. Shankaracharya took as it is the original from the Mahabharata and he written the Bhashyam, that too not for the first chapter. He commences the commentary from the second chapter from the 11th shloka. Why? That reason I will tell you later. So we are going to study this Bhagavad Gita as much as possible in detail. By keeping the background in the view, Bhagavan Shri Adi Shankara's Bhashya also. Don't worry that we are not going to read those Bhashya, Sanskrit and all that, but the views are the expressions which I am going to put in front of you, share with you. They are all mostly from what I heard from my Acharya, Swami Anuhananda Saraswati, and many other more Acharyas, and as well as the Shankara Bhashya. Because it gives a comprehensive understanding, and the total vision will come. Even once you study Bhagavad Gita, you must study sincerely, thoroughly, slowly, systematically. Now, by keeping all these points in the mind, now let us start today first with the Dhyana shlokas. The Dhyana shlokas, I told just now, there are 9 Dhyana shlokas, and which are composed by Madhusudana Saraswati Maharaj Acharya. And each Dhyana shloka. Why these Dhyana shlokas? Why have to pray? They are like prayers. You see, any undertaking in our tradition we will do, generally we'll start with the prayers, at least by saying the Om, or then Ganesha Prarthana, like that, different prarthanas, prayers. The reason for these prayers, prarthanas to take up is, to chant is, one is to get the grace and the blessings of the Lord, because when we are going to take up this taking this undertaking this study of Bhagavad Gita, we must be able to do it continuously without any interruption. So for that we need a lot of support, of physical support, mental support, and environmental support, so many things, so which are not in our control totally. So we ask the Almighty, the Ishvara, to please bless us, help us to complete this undertaking, help us to go through this endeavor. Another thing, so Vighna Nivaranartham, and then same time to purify the mind, to look into the Shastra, to study the Shastra, to listen to the great the words of the Bhagavan Sri Krishna, we need some qualifications. Generally, we study Upanishad or the Prakarana Granthas, we talk about those qualifications there. If there is no qualification, you are not eligible. You may study, but you won't get any benefit. You may go through the entire Bhagavad Gita, but Bhagavad Gita won't go through you. As Swami Chinmayananda jokingly says, somebody came and told that, Swamiji, I have gone through all the 10 Upanishads. Then Swami Chinmayananda laughed and said that, oh, you have gone through the 10 Upanishads, but the Upanishads gone through you. That means what? Assimilation and application are also more important. It's not just studying and listening. How practically in our day-to-day life we can apply this knowledge. If it is not happening, if it is not helping for that purpose, it is not a posthumous benefit like I will get the punyam later. You will get punyam definitely by touching the Bhagavad Gita, by listening the Bhagavad Gita, by doing parayana of Bhagavad Gita, then going into the deeper meaning. Definitely, in different levels, it will help every person. But we aim for the ultimate, the purpose of this teaching. What we have to gain, that we must gain. So we must kartavyam krutam and praptavyam praptam. What way, how we have we have to study in that way, and what we have to get, that we have to get. So the phalam we must get. So for all these reasons, uh, and generally every prayer end, what we say, of course, starting the prayer with Om. Om itself is an auspicious utterance. That itself brings the auspiciousness. In many places, other discourses I explained about the glory, greatness of the Om. Upanishads talks about it. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan is going to tell something about it. So, Om. Then at the end, generally, we say Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. 3 times we say Shanti. That is not to make the Shanti into pieces, but to get the real peace. Acharyas say that that's 3 times telling Shanti is for the Adi Bhautika Shanti, Adi Daivika Shanti, and Adhyatmika Shanti. What is that Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika? This topic also will come when we go into the study. That time I will explain. So just keep all these points in the mind. Come, let us enter into the Gita Dhyana Shlokas. The first shloka, Om Pardhaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിनीम् Amba Tvamanusandathami Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshinim. It's a very beautiful starting shloka. In this, through this shloka, we come to know the Anubandha Chatushtayam. So in between, I'm using the Sanskrit words, which are technical terms, or the uh, gives a broad meaning, but you will understand. I will tell you the meaning, but I will use the exact the Sanskrit word. Anubandha Chatushtayam. First, we must know that. That means 4 things should be dealt before writing any book and the study of any scripture. One is adhikari, for whom this particular teaching, who is qualified, adhikari. And the second is the subject matter. Okay? Whatever is told, the topic inside, that is the second one. So adhikari, then the vishayam, vishaya, subject matter, and the sambandha. What is the relationship between the subject matter and to that qualified adhikari? Then fourth one is called, if the adhikari is proper and the subject matter is this, and this, there is a relation between this adhikari and the vishaya, then what he will get the phalam. Fourth one is called phalam. So adhikari, vishaya, sambandha, and prayojanam. Phalam, both are one and the same. Now this shloka tells all that 4 Anubandha Chatushtayam points. One is what? Who is the student here? Student is Partha, Arjuna. A qualified and fit student, Arjuna, The teacher, Sakshat Narayana Bhagavan's incarnation, Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam, from his own mouth, Pratibodhitam, told to the disciple Arjuna. So here Adhikari has come and the student and the teacher are introduced. And of course, this has recorded, composed by Vyasena Grathitam. Who is this Vyasa? Just now we talked about him, Purana Muni. Purana Muni means Purana Munina, very ancient, the very great Rishi. Here Purana and Sunna, not only ancient, a glorious, a great saint, Vyasena, where he has composed, separately he composed and kept it? No. Madhye Mahabharatam. In such a, that big epic of Mahabharata, in between Madhye Mahabharatam. Now, what is the subject matter, sir, here in this Bhagavad Gita? Is it just a story about somebody? No. Which showers the Advaitamrita Varshinim, which showers the Advaita Amritam. Amritam means which doesn't have death. Amritam, Amritam. Here we should not think about the Amritam which is drunk by the Devatas in the Swarga, and the Amritam for which they struggle to churn the Milky Ocean. Not that Amrita, but real Amrita. Discovering that there is no death for me, the Atma. That is called Amritam. Discovering everyone by themselves, I have no death really. Body have death. Body has got death, but not me, the real me. So identifying myself, really I am the Amritam, free from death. So Advaita Jnanam, where there is no duality, Ekameva Advaitam, where there is no two, no second thing. Discovering that oneness and the one thing, and that itself is called free from death. So this is the subject matter the Advaita Vedanta speaks about, and you will attain the immortality. Advaitamrita Varshinim. Here this knowledge and this Gita text and the Shastra considered as the mother. Veda Mata, Shastra Mata. That's why here Bhagavatim. Bhagavatim means glorious, but it is a feminine. That means we are the Gita Shastra, the song which is sung by Gita word itself is the feminine. Bhagavan Sri Krishna it's like a mother for the entire universe. For the welfare of everybody, the Gita Mata Shastra speaks. So Advaitamrita Varshinim, Bhagavatim, and which is consisting of Ashtadasha Adhyayane, Ashtadasha Adhyayanim. And to that mother, Gita Mata, Amba. See, the author straight away brought the word Amba. Amba means Amma, the mother. I bow down to that Gita Mata or Shastra Mata. See, the humility and surrender, Shraddha Bhakti. In this prayer, we are showing ourselves how much our commitment to the study of the scripture, how much we have the respect and reverence and the commitment They are very essential. If these qualities are not there, we are not yet talked about what are the qualities. I will come to that point later. Just today, we are entering into the Dhyana slokas slowly. So, to develop the qualification, to improve our qualification, and in the beginning itself, first of all, I don't know whether I am having the all required qualifications. Oh Lord, oh Shastra Mata, oh my dear mother, you please inculcate in me. I am at your feet. Amba tvam anusandadhami. I will come along with your teaching. I will walk along with you by holding your hand. See, this anusandadhami, I actually anusandadha means contemplate, I follow, I surrender. It is not simply said, Namami, I am saluting to you. Each word is very important. So, Amba Tvam Anusandadhami means I will assimilate your teaching. I never leave you. I will, even it is difficult for me, I will hold on to you. And I know that you will remove all the difficulties. And not only that, you will give me the strength and the qualifications also to assimilate the knowledge. So, this is the conviction. So, here you need humility, surrender, and free from arrogance. Whatever we may be uh, great in our education, whatever maybe we are great in our family, profession, or whether we are young or old, it doesn't matter. Only thing, you just be as an innocent child in front of the Shastra and the teacher. That's enough. It will give you everything. So, this commitment and surrender, innocence and humility, these are all the qualities, qualifications. Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita. O Bhagavad Gita, O Mother, O Advaita Amrita Varshini, Bhagavati, which is consisting of 18 chapters, O Mother, which was composed by the great Rishi Bhagavan Vedavyasa, which is uttered by the Sakshat Narayana Bhagavan in the form of the Sri Krishna and taught to that qualified person Pardhaya, Prudu's son Partha. So Pardhaya Pratibodhita. Hey Bhagavad Gita, I know that definitely you will give the ultimate result, the phalam, prayojanam, bhavadveshinim. What is your job? To remove the uh, clutches or the knots of the samsara. Bhava. Bhava means samsara in Sanskrit. Samsara means this transmigratory world, the relative world, which is constantly changing and keep on fleeting. So it never stays. It is a under constant flux, change. The world means which is constantly changing. Jagat, jayati, gacchati, iti jagat. Hey bhavad dveshini. Dveshini means what? You hate that. Hate that means what? You remove, you definitely destroy and dispel the ignorance. Because of the ignorance only, this world appearing. Because of the ignorance only, I came into this body and took the birth in the world. Then sorrow, sufferings, and the sukha dukkhas, all the pains of opposites I have to go through. So all this Bhagavad Gita, a bhavadveshinim, destroyer of the bhava means in one thing becoming. Punarapi jananam, punarapi manaram. Again and this cycle of birth and death, and it is a cycle. You stop that cycle chakra to move. Means you destroy the uh, rebirth and again death. So like this, now we got all the Anubandha Chatushtayam points here. The qualified Adhikari Arjuna and the Advaitam is the Vishayam. And because Arjuna also in the identity crisis, even though up to that point he is a very great warrior and got all the awards and the rewards praised by many people in the society and appreciated by many people. He is a very valor and strong person. Did lot of tapas also and got the weapon from the gods also. Even though having all these qualifications and the number one uh, archer in the world, isn't it? Even such a uh, Arjuna, a great hero of those days, when he came into the battlefield in one particular situation, he become zero. Hero become zero. Why? What is the reason? Identity crisis. Now, how to correct that? So, Lord Krishna, medicine, and Arjuna, disease. Or Arjuna's disease is shoka, moha, shoka, bhaya. And Lord gives the medicine to that. This Advaita Gnanam. Whether it worked temporarily or later, how it worked, that is a different matter. But Arjuna came out of that crisis. At the end, he says that I now I'm all right. I have come out of my identity crisis. Now I will do my duty. You just instruct whatever you say, I will do. So like that, he recovered. So this Gita study will makes us every one of us to recover from our disease of the samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Okay. But sir, I don't want such a big things to happen because I won't believe in the rebirth and I don't know what is happening after the death and all that. So the basic questions and because some of why I'm telling this because some of you may be listening first time the Bhagavad Gita or some of you may heard here and there randomly. Generally, a lot of doubts will be there. So, but those doubts are all will be cleared if you listen continuously, sincerely from one teacher. That is more important. So, before concluding, I'm just telling now itself how long this is going to take, how many days or years it's going to take to complete this. I don't know. We started the Lord's wish, Vishwara Sankalpa, and if you get chance to listen and if you are listening, it is a Ishvara's grace and your Purvajanma Punyam. But stick on to it. Try to assimilate. In every class, every satsang, slowly once you start going read one by one, you will get a particular message for you to help and correct yourself. If 100 people are listening, 100 people will get the different messages to their level. This is the magic or the power of the Vyasapita. The Shastra itself will communicate in such a way. This is not the greatness of the speaker, it is the greatness of the Shastra. The Shastra comes from the as a Guru Shishya Parampara, the grace of the great Acharyas, Bhagavan's grace. So, with all these things, we will proceed and study slowly, systematically. I will conclude by saying that these scriptural studies, scriptures are so many of people are talking, so many are available in the media, everything. But the problem is we have no patience to listen systematically, continuously from a one living teacher for a lengthy period of time. So what you have to learn and try to apply? Study. Study means what? Not by yourself. Listen. Listen continuously, systematically, persistently, for a lengthy period of time from a living teacher, master. That only will helps gives the clarity and gives the ultimate result also. So let us have the patience. That is one of the qualifications. I want instantaneously 1 minute short SMS. It won't work. I want a crash course. No, there is no shortcuts. If you go through the shortcuts, you will be cut shorted. So you want to go with the crash course, you will be crashed. Why to waste the time by going this and that and little study? Stick on to one teacher, one system of study, and that is called parampara. When you do that, definitely you bound to become successful. There is no any doubt in this. Okay, so remember these things. So today I have given the introduction, starting from the identity crisis, which is the problem of every human being, and the same problem going to face by the Arjuna, and how he get out of it by the grace of the teacher Bhagavan Shri Krishna. A wonderful teaching of the 18 chapters. So I given introduction to all of them, and we entered into this Dhyana slokas also. Once again, I will read this Dhyana shloka and will conclude. Om Ardhaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനീം अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम तत्सत. Every Saturday we'll have this Bhagavad Gita study class. Hari Om.